So we have our level 1 problem. So I recommend you pause the video, make sure you make yourself actually practice it and think it through, and then come back, because again, that's that active learning you want to have happening. So you really should pause it. Like, don't keep watching, like pause it. All right, so question mark molarity. We know that molarity is moles per liter. It's the number of moles in a liter. This time we have 4 moles in 2 liters. You can kind of see the answer is 2 molarity. What about on this one? How many moles? So we're trying to find moles. Sorry, question mark moles. It goes on the left-hand side. Again, I'm going to scribble out the M. So I'm getting 9.0 moles in 1 liter. Don't start with that unit when you're doing stuff. Start with the other thing, 3.0 liters. And again, I'm putting my liters on bottom. I'm going to moles. And in 1 liter, there's 9.0 moles, which is 27. No sig fig wise, I'm multiplying things and they should only have 2 units. Next one, how many grams are required to prepare this many liters of that solution? All right, so we're asking for grams this time instead of moles. This is why it's level 2. It has 1 extra step in it. So we have something that has molarity, so I'm going to rewrite as moles in 1 liter. And notice this has 1 unit. Notice this has 2 units. So don't start with things with 2 units. Start with the thing that has 1 unit. 1.5 liters. All right. So again, I'm not putting the numbers in yet. So I want to go from liters, and I do have a liters over here that goes to moles. And then if I look at my other conversion, I have a moles on bottom, and then they go into grams. Oh, look, that's what I want. So that's good. I'm going to plug my numbers in. So remember that this is 2.00 moles in 1 liter, and that we have 40.00 grams in 1 mole. That's from this number over here. You do that math out, and you are going to get 120. Now, why is it 120 and not 123? Because I have 2 sig figs in one of the numbers. So I need to round it in such a way to give me just 2 sig figs. How many milliliters? Oh, by the way, wait. If we were to write that in scientific notation, we would write it like this. Not 12, because like 12 is not the same thing as 120. Sometimes that gets people. All right, now, how many milliliters of solution will be made when enough water is added to the 4.0 grams of NaOH? So again, that molarity, I'm going to change it to 2.0 moles per liter. Notice I've got a number here. And the fact I made that red is probably a key that you need to pay attention to. We've only got 1 unit. That's what you start with. 4.0 grams. Oops, sorry. I want to say that what I'm looking for is milliliters. So 4.0 grams of NaOH. It usually is a really good idea to keep what you're talking about in here. And then I'm going to go from grams of NaOH. And if I look up, I do have a unit that goes from grams to something else that goes to moles of NaOH. And then I have a unit over here that's moles of NaOH in 1 liter. Now, can I stop? No, because it's asking for milliliters. So I'm going to do 1 more, liters into milliliters. Then I just put my numbers in, 40.00. in 1 mole, and then 2.0 moles in 1 liter, and then you put the 1 by the thing that has a prefix, 1 times 10 to the minus 3rd. Put all those numbers in, and you're going to get this. Now notice again, watch your sig figs. We've got 1, 2 sig figs, 1, 2 sig figs. And I would leave this one for you to do at home normally. But I will go ahead and do it. This isn't like anything different per se. This just says question mark molarity. So it wants to know the molarity. So basically what I need to have is I need to end up with a moles on top, and I need to end up with a liters on bottom. I just need to have it in those correct units. So right now I have a grams and I have a volume. You can probably see right now that volume will turn into liters. Oh, let me do that in a different color. My milliliters again, sorry, I've got my liters. And then I'm going to grab blue and do blue top. So here I've got 10.0 grams. And then I'm going from grams into moles. So 56.11 and 1 mole. Now, if you want to do the top, the blue one, and solve it and get a number, and then if you want to do the green part and solve it and get a number and then divide, totally fine. I was just trying to give you a different perspective on things. But you also can put all this in your calculator. If you do that, you need to make sure that you write this with a parentheses around it. Or you do the conversion in your head and you go ahead and say, oh, well, that's the same thing as 0.250 liters, which is a good thing to just be good at doing, is turning 250 milliliters and know that that's the same thing as 0.250 liters. Dr. Bean talks about that in our video. But when you end up, you're going to end up with this number in molarity.